Hey there, my name is Carolina. I'm here to just tell you a little bit about this itinerary that Abby and I have put together for you. So let me share my screen and I will just take a few minutes of your time to kind of let you know how everything works in Ecuador. There are so many different ways to enjoy not only the Amazon, but the Galapagos. So let's go through it. So your trip is planned for June 12th of this summer. This is a wonderful time to visit Ecuador. It is really popular because this is dry season, this is peak season. All kids are out of school in Europe and North America, so it's quite popular. But everything that I put on this itinerary is available, so don't worry about spaces. So once you arrive in Quito, which is the international airport, we will pick you up. So you'll see a big sign with your family's name on it, and we will take you to the hotel. You've mentioned you didn't want to really spend a lot of time in high altitude. So there is another airport called Guayaquil in Ecuador, and perhaps we can think about spending a night there instead. It will um, kind of affect the flights a little bit, but for now, I included a hotel that's just 20 minutes outside of the airport. This way, you're not driving into town itself. If we're not spending time in town, we don't need to drive the 45 to an hour transfer to town to Quito proper. So instead, I chose this hotel, especially if you're arriving in the afternoon, you can unwind. They have horses, they have pools, they have bikes, they have kayaks. So you can just relax or you can spend some time on their property and have the kids run around after the flights and just be able to relax. I have a room with two double beds, basically throughout the itinerary, but as well here at La Palma. And then, of course, they have a beautiful restaurant, so you can enjoy dinner here. The whole idea is to rest because the following morning, we're going to pick you right back up right after breakfast and take you back to the airport for just a 30-minute flight to Coca, which is the main airport in the Ecuadorian Amazon, and the entry to the river so we can get into a boat and go to Sacha Lodge. It's kind of a transfer, but also a tour because there's going to be wildlife, there's going to be activities. Your guide will be on the boat with you. So it's already going to start as soon as you land. I remember landing in Coca, putting on my boots, and red macaws were above me, and I just knew I was in the jungle. Actually, this lodge, this location that you're going to, is the first time I went to the Amazon 20 years ago, and I have been back every year to some sort of rainforest lodge, and I just love it. My kids love it, so you will have such a great time. So everything at the lodge is included. So you have your family cabana, which is a really spacious place with two double beds, a balcony. You have a private guide for your family so that all of the excursions that you will be doing in the Amazon will be with your own guide. Why? Most of the lodges will put you with other people, maybe small groups, maybe six people. But when there are kids involved, you don't want to do that because you want to go at your own pace. Kids want to stop. They want to look at the butterflies. They want to, chase the monkeys. And so you need your private guide for that. So that is arranged for you here already. Again, peak season guides are booked up months in advance. So that is something to think about ahead of time. You don't want to just get there and think, oh, well, I may need a private guide. We arrange it ahead of time so the logistics are handled for you. All of your meals are included. And here you will be for 3 nights. You will see this itinerary that I put for you, but please know in the Amazon, the itinerary is based on water levels, rain, what's happening right outside your cabana. The guides really know this area. They are from the jungle, so they really know the trails and everything like the back of their hands. So they will customize an itinerary with you and your family according to your interests and according to your abilities. But you will do hanging bridges. You will visit a local community. You will go in boats. You can go swimming. You can go fishing for piranhas. You can do all of those activities, but perhaps not in that order that I have listed here. Just know that we flip things around with your guide according to what works for you. And there's, of course, all kinds of fun things that the guides will entertain your kids with while you're at the lodge. So the idea is you go out in the morning, you go out in the afternoon, but in between you have some free time. You can enjoy the lodge. You can sit around with your coffee, just bird watching. And the lodge is really cool because they have cut out just like a living pool for swimming. So it's a safe place. You can go swimming. I have done swimming in the Amazon many times. So it's kind of exciting because the water is quite black, but it's safe. The guide will always be with you. And then after 3 nights, we're going to trek back on the river, on the boat, back to the Coca airport, take that 30-minute flight back to Quito, arrive in the early afternoon, and we'll take you right back to La Palma Hotel. So again, you can relax, you can unwind after your jungles. If you need to do laundry, we can arrange something like that with our guides or with the lodge to see if they can do that in the afternoon for you. We can, of course, enjoy some tours that the La Palma has on offer. I didn't include anything. I want you to have that afternoon free, but just know that the option is there. And now off to the Galapagos. So the Galapagos, there are 101 ways to enjoy it. There are cruises, there are hotels, there is glamping, there is everything and anything to choose from. I know you wanted to kind of not pack too much in, not see everything all at once. The kids are small. Let's enjoy the islands. Let's see some wildlife. Let's have some time for the pool. Kind of a good balance for a family. So instead of a cruise, which does work kind of like a strict itinerary with a lot of excursions every day, we included a hotel for 4 nights. So you have a base called the Ikala Hotel. So let me show you how it will be. We will take you to the airport, take a 2.5-hour flight to the island. We include your entry tickets. We include your ID cards. We do an assistant at the airport so they can walk you through the customs because this is a protected area. So you're going to have your shoes checks and things like that for little seeds and anything that you might be bringing by accident. And then once you arrive, we do you're going to land in Baltra, which is the airport island. You're going to get off the airport island by boat. So already quite exciting. The guide will be with you for the whole time. And then you're going to be on Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz is a massive island with volcanoes and craters and highlands, which is this cloud forest atmosphere where the giant tortoises roam. So to get from the airport to the village where your hotel is, you have to cross the whole island, including the highlands. So our transfer automatically becomes a tour. So you're going to visit the plantation with the giant tortoises. You're going to have lunch somewhere in the rainforest in a restaurant. You're going to see caves. You might be passing a coffee plantation. We might stop if that's of an interest. This is a private tour. So again, we're going to go at your pace. And once you arrive in the village in the afternoon, we're going to check you into the hotel. So the village has a number of hotels. Many of them are backpacker style, low end. Then there's just a handful of hotels that we use, such as the Ikala. And the reason I use the Ikala for you is because their rooms are very spacious and you're going to be here for 4 nights and they have a pool. There's probably, I can count 5 pools on my hand in the Galapagos, so there's not a lot of pools. And I know pools are very important to children. I have 2 of my own. So Ikala will give you the balance. It's right smack in the middle of the village, but it is a sanctuary. It's like kind of in a big wall, so it feels like a retreat. It has a pool. They have bikes if you want to go riding, but you step outside the door and you can be in the center of town. You can go to the fish market. You can go to the main square. There's always activities in the main square. There's even a little playground there for kids. So there's lots of things that you can enjoy. The hotel has a restaurant if you want to eat inside or right outside. There are plenty of restaurants in the village. So this is a great experience for a family, especially for a first visit, because we will show you a great taste of the Galapagos, but you will not have to be traveling every day. So arrival, Highlands tour, check into the hotel. The following day, instead of putting you on a boat and again traveling, we're going to explore Santa Cruz itself. So it's an island, which means there's beaches, which means there's lots of wildlife, which means there's sea lions and giant iguanas and a wonderful place to go snorkeling and swimming and kayaking. Private guide stays with you for the whole day. Lunch is arranged. You're never away from Santa Cruz. You're never in a car for hours. So this is a great first day for a family in the Galapagos. And in the afternoon, you have free time for the pool, for the village, and so on. this is an iguana. I mean, they literally walk all over the catwalks, the beaches, and things like that. And now the following day, now we will go to the port and go on a full day boat tour. So it's literally like a 9 to 5 full day boat tour. I forgot to put a picture of the yachts. They're 16-person yachts. So you will not be alone on the boat. There will be other people with a guide, with a crew. Lunch will be served on board. But the whole idea is to take you to an uninhabited island that is not Santa Cruz. So you're going to go off. So one of the islands is Bartholomew. So I put a picture here for you for Bartholomew. But every day we go to about 4 different islands. So we will see what is available when we are ready to book on July 19th, which islands are available. We can discuss them. But all the islands will include a sort of a hike. And I don't like to use the word hike because they're quite soft hiking, sometimes on sand, sometimes on a lava path, but very doable with children. And then it will also always include a beach time, snorkeling time, wildlife time. There's colonies of different animals on each island. So Bartholomew is just one of them that offers not only activities and hiking and catwalks and things like that, but also awesome beaches to go swimming. And there'll be sea lions in there, and there'll be turtles, and there'll be maybe even penguins. You never know what you're going to see in the Galapagos. And then you come back to the village and a transfer takes you right back to your hotel. And then on your last full day in the Galapagos, instead of another full day tour, because I think by now you're going to be exhausted to getting up too early and things like that, we're going to let you sleep in. You can have pool time in the morning, have a leisurely breakfast, and then in the afternoon or early morning, whatever works for you, because this is private, we'll go to the Charles Darwin Research Center, which is sort of like a live museum. There's going to be turtles. They're studying all kinds of species, just like Charles Darwin did. You're going to learn all about, his theories, but also see turtles, see baby turtles, see all their species that they might be discovering or naming and things like that. So it's a great place for kids to explore. It's right in town, so we're not driving for hours. And that will give you an opportunity to be with the guide one more time and kind of figure out what are we doing in the afternoon. Maybe we want to go to Las Grietas to go snorkeling. Very easy. You don't need a guide to do it, but you can have the guide if you'd like, or another adventure that you might want in the afternoon. So that wraps up our touring. And on our last day, July 21st, we're going to take you right back to the Galapagos airport, fly you back to Quito or to Guayaquil, as you please, and we fly home from there. So that's your 10-day tour. You will cover not only, the Amazon jungle, but the Galapagos as well in a really family-friendly way. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you'd like any changes, of course, we are here to do that. If you want any upgraded hotels, like something luxury, we can do that. I think there's still some budget left for that. So I'm happy to help with any of that. And thank you so much for listening.